Patrick, we did the math. How much was it to build the wall? Like how Egypt has their wall?
Yeah, Egypt did it for $450 million.
We could do it here.
We could do it for $5 billion.
$5 billion.
We even said because America always pays more, because in the military used to all be, this is $20, but we pay $200 for it. We could do it for $20 billion, no problem. To build a wall.
Like the most secure, Jesse, even underground, so there's no problem.
Yeah.
Freaking
at $20 billion.
At $20 billion.
Yep. But my concern with what you're saying is, Jesse, when you're saying this, are you saying big name Republicans that they don't care about people crossing the border? Because so the number that I saw the other day on China, I'm sure you've seen this number on the number of people that are crossing the border from China. Rob, Vinny, I think you sent me this tweet. So let me just read these numbers here. I got it somewhere here.
Okay.
So in 2001, okay, this is 2001. It almost needs to be in a way, Rob, that people can see it. Let me show this. Yeah, right there. 2001, we had 342 Chinese immigrants, illegal immigrants crossing the border that got arrested. Let me say that one more time. 2021,
okay.
342 people the entire year. 2022, it's 6X's to 1987, a year later. 2023 goes to 24,125. And 2024, just Q1, is at 22,233 in Q1. That's an increase of 6,300% in 3 years.
Wow.
Did you just do the math in your head?
No, it's 6,300% in 3 years. Absolute insanity. So even for Republicans to be like, do you sit there and say, well, I would say all the 50,000 people that came here, 100% of them are noble people. They have no bad intentions. They probably love America.
Sure.
Really?
Well, if you know anything about China, if you're a Chinese national and you come to the United States, you're beholden to the CCP. If they tap you in California and they say you're going to go spy on that naval base, you're going to go spy on that naval base or your family back in Beijing.
What is that called? What is there something for
the Chinese government uses Chinese Americans who have immigrated here as intelligence assets. They can lean on you, and you've seen it in college campuses. You've seen it in corporate America. There's tons of espionage in corporate America. They're stealing trade secrets constantly. It's a huge threat. And I don't want to blast Republicans whole scale, but watch if Trump wins re-election and he starts deporting, you're going to see a lot of Republicans go soft.
You think so?
You're going to see a lot. They get squeamish. They get confronted by Washington Post, Reuters, Associated Press, CNN reporters in the halls of Congress. Don't you think it's mean to be breaking up families? This is like the Nazism. Isn't Trump a horrible person? That's what they're going to do, and they're going to get squeamish.
But I think Trump's going to come back and say, I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
He's going to say that.
Yeah.
But maybe not everybody in the House is going to be that strong.
Well, sometimes if the number one is such a big driver, a great number one driver knows how to corner and pin people into a decision. He knows how to corner you and into a decision where if Obama has the record for the most people ever being deported by a president 2 terms, and it's not even close. What did they call him again? The
deporter in chief.
The deporter in chief. Yeah, if Trump's always going to go back to that. What are you talking about? Your hero, Obama. Here's what he did. So if Trump decides to deport, I guarantee you, no one is going to be more scared about their legacy than Obama, because Trump's going to say that 24/7. Constantly talking about Obama is the deporter in chief. Who said the article, by the way? Was it New York Times or was it ABC? That I actually want to know who labeled that.
ABC.
Who labeled it? If you type in deporter in chief, go to news right there and see who labeled. It was either CNN or New York Times.
Yeah, well, what context is that?
I thought it was activists. I thought it was immigration activists that.
Well, ABC's right there. Obama has deported more people than anybody else.
I want to know who coined the phrase deporter in chief. Right, the President Obama has been referred to by immigration
groups.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was these. I thought it was.
Pat, while you're looking, Jessica, guys, 2 questions. So they're saying the numbers are always going to be low. In the 4 years that Biden's going to, hopefully, God willing, he's done, 20 million, maybe more illegals will be in our country. Trump comes in. How do you even start a process to get rid of 20 million, which they don't have IDs, they're just floating around, nobody knows what they are? How do you even fathom starting a process like that?
It's going to be the greatest deportation
ever in the world. Yeah.
Big, beautiful wall.
It's a great question. I don't know. I don't know if he knows, but you have to start with the criminals.
Yeah.
And so right now, Joe Biden's not even detaining anybody. ICE is not allowed to do their job. So no one's really even been deported either. And if he wants to deport people back to Venezuela, Venezuela's not even accepting the people. He is flying migrants from Venezuela here. They're committing crimes. And when we try to deport them, Venezuela says, no mas.
They're too crazy for us.
It's right. So we've been totally disrespected. But in terms the question, he's going to have to get granular. I mean, on the ground, county by county, work with the sheriffs. It's going to be gritty. And you're never going to get them all out, but you have to start with the criminals.
I want to go to this, Tom. I'm going to come to you. Here's the article we found. Rob, I just sent it to you. Can you pull up the date at the top? This is the lady who coined that phrase, by the way, coined the phrase. So this is March 4, 2014. Okay, so we're talking over 10 years ago. And go all the way at the top. Go the other way. Yeah, go all the way at the top. One more. NCLR head, Obama, deporter-in-chief. She coined the phrase deporter-in-chief and has been around till today. By the way, somebody Manected me before. If you've never downloaded the app Manect, you get to ask questions. I got nearly 50 Manects in the last 24 hours. It's coming through right now on fire, and Manect is growing exponentially.
We're going to get Jesse on there.
Yeah, so this is Manect. If you have any questions, you can get on Manect. There's 7,000 experts and influencers to ask questions from. But somebody on Manect asked me a question yesterday, and he says, hey, Pat, here's what I got. I have the plan on how to deport 10 million people. He sends the entire plan to the T on how they're going to work 24/7 on teams of 5. Each truck that he had fits 50 to 80 people on there. Food, kitchen, hot food, person sleeping, building a bed, and you have to work 24/7 of teams of 4 and 5, and each work 10-day shifts, okay? And they go, and then they switch, and then they switch. With 700 trucks, I believe, and this would be a project that would take many, many years to go through. But this is the way they would go to it. And he's kind of giving his presentation. And anyways, I had the conversation with a couple different people. But this is the point. The point is, okay, so come deport me. Hey, we're sending you back home. Oh, you know what? Sorry it didn't work out. Right. You know what I'm saying? All the money I give to the coyote and all the people that came and took my kids and we came through here. No problem. Send me back home. I'll follow the rules. That's not how this is going to work out.
There are going to be TV cameras at every deportation choke point, and they're going to be filming these ICE agents going door to door or doing whatever they do. How terrible is that going to look? And they're going to exploit that, and it's going to look awful, and people are going to be upset. People are going to be fighting back. It is probably, that's why, no, but we have to do it. But that's why you can't let them in the first place. Because once they're here, it's very hard to get them.
Well, let me tell you, here's what's worse. If a 9/11 type of event takes place the next 12 months, America will flip very quickly. Whenever that position changes, and all of a sudden we have a crisis of the 9/11 type of magnitude. I hope we don't get to that point. But when people get a little bit too sloppy and they forget how fickle life is and how quickly it can come and directly impact you and I, and then you sit there and say, no, I don't agree with that. We have to flip very quickly and go the other way. Tom, your thoughts on this?
I'm sitting here patiently boiling. I'm about to have an aneurysm. The whole issue that I think people are failing to understand is you have to be understanding what's going on. Venezuela is emptying prisons, and they are sending criminals here. They're sending the worst. It's true. This is no different than what Castro did, emptying his prisons when he absolutely flanked Jimmy Carter on the Muriel boat lift and just polluted Miami with criminals, not people. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masters yearning to breathe free that says on Statue of Liberty. This was a criminal element. And now Venezuela is telling not just the United States, but the United States sent a bunch to Mexico and tried to basically, I guess, commingle criminals. And Mexico sent a flight to Venezuela, and Venezuela gave Mexico the finger and sent them back. So how do you take the criminals that are here that are worse of worse? Jesse, you're right. It's going to look terrible terrible. It's going to look really, really bad. But the worst of it that's here is we are bringing huge numbers of criminal element that are around an honest family that did give coyotes money and came here the wrong way, but they're just looking for a better life, but they did it wrong, and we got to figure it out. But the question is, where do you send the criminals that go back when you have a Venezuela that doesn't even want to take them?
I have a feeling Trump's going to be able to make Venezuela take them back.
The current guy, I mean, the current president, we're only one flight of stairs and a slip from an even worse president, is that you need to have balls in the White House that is able to make that decision. And I think if you're listening and you're paying attention and you live in friggin' Omaha, Nebraska, this is your problem as much as it's everybody else's problem. You got to get behind this thing because the deportation is not mean-spirited. It's about safety in America. It's about doing it right. There's no such thing as an American race. We all come from somewhere. And that somewhere is...
But Jesse's right, though, Tom. What Jesse's talking about is the fact that they're going to play to the heart, and they're gonna play that towards mothers, and they're gonna look at the screen and they're gonna say, I want you to see this video. Look at the look on the kid's face.
Yeah.
Hey, to all the mothers out there, they have a child. How do you feel if you're separated from a kid like this? How long could you go like this? You know who did this? Trump. This is who did it, and this is what the Republicans want, and look what they're doing. They've been doing this, and the stuff like this that I see is the stuff that I saw that happened in Germany, and this. Is that the country where we're coming? Are you comfortable representing the world that this is who? That's the spin job that's going to take place.
It's going to be, remember Elian Gonzalez?
Of course.
Yeah.
Millions of Elian Gonzalez
little baby
situations.
in the arms of the mom and the agent with the gun.
You want to hear a funny backstory about that? You know how that's just a picture? It's just a picture.
Yeah.
There was I believe it was a CBS photographer there, and he had his camera, and he was supposed to roll video of this. You know what he did? He double punched.
Oh.
He hit it twice, and all he got was a half-second frame. That's just a frame grab.
Rob, what year was that?
The ridiculous
Probably
cameraman
1990?
ruining the best moment of his life.
Did he get fired?
Yeah, of course. Of course he got fired.
Well,
and so that's why you don't have video of that.
Okay. Well, ironically enough, Elian Gonzalez, I grew up in Miami. I remember the story very well. He's now running for some sort of political figure in Cuba, ironically. We put up Elian Gonzalez. Look, born and raised in Miami, I have so many Cuban friends, Venezuelan friends, Colombian friends, Brazilian friends, Mexican friends, Haitian friends, everything. I think, and this, far be it for me to give Trump advice, because there is a criminal element to all this. Releasing of the prisons, we saw it in the 80s. The movie Scarface was based on this exact premise. But lo and behold, Miami is literally built by Cubans, some Jews too. The best city in the country at this point. Hello. So at some point, whether they're illegal, legal, we're going to have to ingratiate them into society. So I don't like villainizing immigrants. We are a country of immigrants, but we're also a country of laws and rules. So my advice to Trump, because he's going to use the rhetoric, and rightfully so, the open border situation is a shit show. But if and when he is elected, there's a difference between running and leading. When he's here, he's going to have empathy and say, I was elected to clean up this border, to clean up this mess. And everyone can't stay. I'm sorry.
Well,
they're going to have to go, and you're going to see some images that are unsavory.
I don't think he's going to say that.
But I was elected to get these people out of here.
Yeah, but and you know that, but Adam, you said the word illegal.
No, yeah, exactly.
No, everybody keeps forgetting this word, guys. It's not like, we're not delusional. Illegal means you're not, it's the law, okay? And I'm sorry, I don't even give that buffer. You gotta go. Like, you gotta go. And by the way, this is my thing, because I'm a freaking patriot, I'm an American. One person dying is too much. Mayorkas, Biden, the whole administration, blood all over their hands. One person, Laken Riley, we mentioned earlier, she's murdered by a guy that doesn't belong here. End of story, bro. It's over. And Pat, you made a point. It's, God forbid one of these 9/11 moments happens. We would hope that it's going to make Americans go, you see, it was a border. What I'm worried about is if something like that happens, what happened on 9/11? Everybody just united as one, and it was love.
We've talked about it.
That's what I'm worried about. I want people to go, no. How the F did that happen? And right then and there be like, oh, it was a China hack or whatever the hell it was.
I want you to play this clip.
I'm with you, but that's an expensive check for unity.
I want you to play this clip here. And by the way, if Trump wins, this guy is going to be back running the border, And I want to remind you guys who this guy is when he sat down with AOC and AOC tried to grill him.
Yeah.
And watch what happened to AOC when she tried to grill a man who knows the law.
Let's hear the
Go ahead and
bartender.
watch it. It's just entertaining. Go ahead.
Recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation,
I recommend a zero tolerance.
which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Bartender.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be
sense.
separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman, with
family.
all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
What?
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay. And so the
That's the part.
Yeah,
So
she-
this guy, Tom Holman,
Oh, the best.
is one of the most feared men when it comes down to this because he knows the law. And to be a guy like that, you have to be as strong as he is to run it. If Trump gets elected, this guy's protecting your border. And I think, think about what kind of a personality you want working security at your bar. Then think about what kind of a security guard you want running a nightclub that has 2,000 people coming in. Then think about what kind of security guard you want running a nightclub that top-notch celebrities and Hollywood and all. You need a real one.
Oh.
Then think about what kind of a security guard you want protecting a community, Bel Air, where famous people live in. Then think about what kind of security guard you want. You get the idea where I'm going with this. Then think about what kind of a security guard you want protecting your border. That's the guy. For the people that are watching the podcast today who want a signed copy of this book, there's 3. Here's what we're doing. Anybody who goes on vtmerch.com and places an order for $50 or more, a minimum of $50, you go to vtmerch.com, place your order. You can buy Future Looks Bright hat, whatever you may order. We're going to give you a PBD Podcast Future Looks Bright mug. We're going to put in a pin and a keychain. And 3 of you on Tuesday will do a raffle to give away those 3 signed copies. But you got to go to vtmerch.com and place an order for a minimum of $50. The first 100 will be part of that raffle.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.